Walk into any hardware store right now and you'll notice something weird. Those tool aisles that used to overflow with dozens of brands are starting to look sparse. Empty pegboard hooks where certain names used to hang, clearance stickers appearing on tools that were premium just months ago. Here's what nobody in the industry wants to admit out loud. Several major tool brands are showing serious signs of trouble, and smart contractors are already being cautious before these companies potentially vanish completely. The question isn't just whether these brands will disappear, it's whether you'll get stuck holding worthless warranties and orphaned battery platforms if they do. I've been tracking tool company patterns, dealer networks, and warranty claim issues for the past 18 months, and what I'm seeing should concern anyone who's invested thousands into certain ecosystems. We're ranking 12 tool brands from barely hanging on to potentially in serious trouble. Some of these names will shock you because they're sitting on your workbench right now. Starting at number 12, we've got a brand that's been struggling for years, but somehow keeps going. Porter Cable used to mean something back in the 1980s and 90s. Professional framers swore by their nail guns. Cabinet makers loved their routers. Then Black & Decker bought them, and it's been a challenging period ever since. Here's what's happening behind the scenes. Stanley Black & Decker, the parent company, has reported significant financial challenges. When massive corporations face financial pressure, they don't save all their brands equally. They pick favorites and let the weak ones struggle. Porter Cable doesn't appear to be a priority anymore. Walk into any Home Depot and count how many Porter Cable tools you see versus DeWalt, which is also owned by Stanley Black & Decker. The floor space tells you everything. DeWalt gets entire aisles. Porter Cable gets a much smaller section with tools that haven't seen major updates in years. The nail guns still work fine, but finding replacement parts could become challenging if the brand continues to decline. Professional contractors are already aware of this trend. They're selling Porter Cable at estate sales and switching to brands with clearer futures. The resale value has declined noticeably in recent years. That's not normal depreciation, that's a worrying pattern. Number 11 is even more concerning because this brand actually tried to reinvent itself before struggling. Ryobi used to be the king of budget tools. Not Harbor Freight cheap, but affordable enough that weekend warriors could build entire collections without breaking the bank. Then something shifted in recent years. The quality seemed to slide backwards while prices crept up. Ryobi tried positioning themselves as prosumer grade, that awkward middle ground between homeowner and contractor. The problem is, nobody asked for that. Homeowners wanted affordable tools that worked. Professionals wanted reliability they could stake their reputation on. Ryobi delivered neither consistently. Here's a major issue. Their battery platform, once their biggest selling point, is now holding them back. They've been locked into 18-volt technology while many competitors move to higher voltage systems with better performance. Trying to compete against Milwaukee's M18 or DeWalt's 20-volt Max with older battery tech puts them at a disadvantage. The real tell is how Home Depot is treating them. Ryobi used to dominate the front end caps during Father's Day and Black Friday. Recently, they've had less prominent placement. When your primary retail partner shifts focus, that's a concerning sign. At number 10, we've got a brand that never really established itself as premium. Bauer is Harbor Freight's house brand for power tools. And here's the thing that'll make tool snobs react. They're not terrible. Actually, for the price, some Bauer tools offer decent value, but that doesn't mean they have a secure future. Harbor Freight has been quietly shifting focus to their Hercules line for more serious applications and keeping Bauer for entry-level offerings. The signs suggest changes ahead. Bauer tools have been appearing with increasingly aggressive discounts and rebates. When companies start heavy promotional activity on entire product lines, they're often making strategic shifts. In this case, Harbor Freight appears to be betting more heavily on Hercules and Icon as their serious tool lines. Bauer will likely continue for some time as an affordable option for people who need occasional use tools, but anyone building a tool collection around Bauer batteries should be aware that future support could be uncertain. Number 9 is where things get really interesting because this brand was supposed to be innovative. Work spent years marketing themselves as the creative tool company, the one that thought different and created solutions nobody knew they needed. Remember the jaw saw? That unusual chainsaw design? Or the Landroid robotic lawnmower? Innovation is valuable, But it doesn't guarantee success when market adoption is limited. Here's Works' challenge. They spread themselves across many product categories trying to be clever while the basics got less attention. Professional contractors don't want gimmicks. They want tools that show up, do the job, and don't fail. Works kept launching products that solved niche problems while facing tough competition in core categories. Their market presence has been challenged in recent years. The parent company, Positech, continues supporting them, but even corporate patience has limits. When your innovative products struggle to gain traction and your power tools can't compete with established brands, the path forward becomes uncertain. The brand will probably survive in some form, possibly selling through various retail channels, but the expansion phase of Works' innovation appears to have slowed. Speaking of uncertain futures, number 8 is a brand that transitioned into a different market position. Craftsman used to be synonymous with American tool quality. Your grandfather had Craftsman tools. Your dad had Craftsman tools. The lifetime warranty was legendary. Then Sears faced major challenges, and Craftsman was sold to Stanley Black & Decker. That sounded like a rescue, but the brand underwent significant changes. Stanley tried reviving Craftsman with tools manufactured through various suppliers. The newer Craftsman tools aren't bad, they're just positioned differently. And here's the challenge in today's market. Brand loyalty matters less than it used to. People buy based on performance and price. Craftsman faces tough competition on performance with Milwaukee or Makita. They face tough competition on price with Harbor Freight or Ryobi, so they're in a challenging middle position where many buyers are nostalgic for when Craftsman had a different reputation. That customer demographic is aging. The brand's marketing presence has shifted. The floor space at Lowe's has changed over time. When a tool brand stops expanding and shifts strategy, you're watching a transition period. Number 7 is going to upset some people because this brand has genuine fans. Bosch makes excellent tools. Their rotary hammers are well regarded. The laser levels are considered industry standard, German engineering and all that. So why are they on this list? Because Bosch struggles with the American market. They dominate Europe, where contractors appreciate precision engineering and accept premium pricing. But American tool buyers prioritize power, battery life, and competitive pricing. Bosch keeps launching tools that are technically impressive, but priced at premium levels. A Bosch 18-volt drill often costs more than comparable Milwaukee or DeWalt units while offering different battery compatibility and ecosystem options. That's a challenging strategy. The real issue is Bosch's product line structure. They've got blue tools for professionals and green tools for homeowners, and the two ecosystems have limited cross-compatibility. Imagine investing in the blue line only to discover certain attachments you need are green line only. It's frustrating. Market data suggests Bosch has struggled to gain ground in North America in recent years. They're not facing bankruptcy, but they're becoming less prominent in the American market. Construction sites dominated by Bosch tools are relatively rare in the United States. At number 6, we're hitting a brand that's essentially a legacy name at this point. Skill used to be everywhere, the circular saw that many framers owned. Then they went through multiple ownership changes and transformed into a budget brand that exists mostly to fill shelf space at value retailers. The current ownership treats Skill as a heritage brand. They keep the logo alive on affordable imports, hoping older buyers remember when Skill had a different reputation. This is brand legacy management, not aggressive growth strategy. You can buy Skill tools at Walmart and Menards, but they're competing with Black & Decker and Hart for budget-conscious shoppers who need tools for occasional projects. That's a crowded market segment. Tool enthusiasts moved to other brands years ago. The warranty support is basic. Replacement battery availability may be limited over time. Parts availability focuses mainly on common accessories. Skill is a brand that exists on name recognition rather than cutting-edge innovation. They're still performing a market function, but they're not attracting new passionate followers or inspiring major collection investments. Number 5 is where we hit a brand that had advantages but lost momentum. Rigid had several things going for them years ago. Home Depot's exclusive partnership gave them guaranteed shelf space. The lifetime service agreement was competitive in the industry. Orange Tools had visual distinction. Then they became conservative with innovation, while Milwaukee and DeWalt were advancing with brushless motors, improved batteries, and smarter tool designs. Rigid was making incremental updates. Their 18-volt platform aged while they maintained it was adequate. By the time they acknowledged needed upgrades, competitors had gained significant market position. The exclusive Home Depot partnership that seemed advantageous created limitations. Rigid couldn't expand distribution broadly, faced pricing constraints through the exclusive relationship, and had to coordinate innovation through that that partnership. The brand continues, but with reduced prominence. Home Depot maintains them, but watch promotional patterns. Rigid gets less prominent placement, while Milwaukee dominates prime retail space. That indicates retail partner priorities. The lifetime service agreement exists, but service center networks have been consolidating. Number 4 is going to make some people defensive because this brand still has loyal users. Cobalt was Lowe's answer to exclusive tool brands. Blue tools, competitive pricing, exclusive distribution. For a while it worked. Then Lowe's made a major strategic decision. They ended the Cobalt exclusivity and started carrying Craftsman instead. Imagine having your entire tool collections brand deprioritized in its primary retail home. Cobalt attempted expanding to other retailers, but the challenge was significant. The brand identity was connected to Lowe's. Without that exclusive anchor, Cobalt became another budget tool brand in a crowded market. The 24-volt platform they launched was supposed to be their future. Instead, it became a burden. The battery technology didn't match competitor advancements, and now Cobalt supports a platform that struggles for relevance while trying to stay competitive. Current owners face a difficult situation. The tools still function, but replacement parts may become harder to find. Battery availability can be inconsistent, and the resale value has dropped. Professional contractors shifted away from Cobalt years ago. Homeowners are recognizing their tool investment isn't holding value well. If Lowe's eventually phases out support completely, many people will have batteries and tools with limited secondary market appeal. At number 3, we've got a brand experiencing a slow transition while loyalists hope for revival. Makita used to be the professional's choice. Teal tools meant you were serious. Japanese quality, legendary durability, tools that outlasted their owners. But something shifted over the past decade. Makita maintained conservative approaches while competitors pushed aggressive innovation. Their battery platform stayed with 18 volts longer, while others moved to higher voltage systems. Their tool designs remained traditional when innovation became expected. Marketing was modest compared to Milwaukee's aggressive campaigns. Now Makita occupies an interesting space where older contractors still appreciate tools they bought years ago, while younger workers often choose Milwaukee or DeWalt instead. The professional market's loyalty base is aging, and replacement demographics show different preferences. Visit tool distributors and ask about Makita trends. Many will quietly note the numbers show challenges year over year. The brand isn't collapsing from dramatic failure. It's transitioning through many small decisions to maintain tradition while competitors took different approaches. In 5 years, Makita will either be a specialty brand serving a specific demographic or they'll face acquisition interest. Either way, the Makita of previous decades has evolved significantly. Number 2 is shocking because this brand was highly successful recently. Husky was Home Depot's hand tool and storage powerhouse. Orange tool chests, reliable wrenches, strong warranties. Mechanics and contractors bought Husky because the value was excellent. Then, Home Depot made a significant strategic shift. They started adjusting Husky's presence while pushing customers toward different brands like Milwaukee and DeWalt. The floor space devoted to Husky hand tools has decreased notably in recent years. Tool chests that had extensive displays now have reduced presence. The warranty still exists officially, but customer experiences with claims have reportedly become more challenging. Here's what's happening strategically. Home Depot appears to be shifting focus because power tools and premium storage systems deliver different profit margins. Hand tools are competitive commodity markets. Supporting brands that deliver stronger financial returns makes business sense from their perspective. This is corporate strategy affecting a functional brand. Husky tools aren't failing mechanically. Home Depot's strategic priorities are shifting. In coming years, Husky may be repositioned or modified. Anyone who invested in Husky storage systems should hope for continued quality because support networks may change. And finally, at number 1, the brand that's transformed into something completely different from its origins. Black & Decker invented the portable electric drill back in 1916. They defined power tools for generations, and now they're a case study in brand evolution and market positioning. Black & Decker tools today are manufactured to meet specific price points and market segments. They're designed to hit affordability targets. The brand has minimal prestige among professional tool users. Stanley Black & Decker, the parent company, has essentially positioned Black & Decker as their value brand while marketing DeWalt as the premium option. This makes business sense strategically, but completely changes Black & Decker's market role. The purchase decision becomes challenging when DeWalt options exist at moderately higher prices. The people buying Black & Decker today are typically casual users who need affordable tools for occasional projects, or consumers prioritizing low initial cost. That's a specific market segment, not a growth trajectory. The brand will probably continue in some form, appearing on budget tools sold at various retailers. But the Black & Decker that defined power tools historically has transformed into something fundamentally different. What exists now serves a different market purpose than the brand's heritage might suggest. So what does all this mean for you? If you've invested in any of these brands, consider your long-term tool strategy carefully. Evaluate resale options while tools still have market value. Be cautious about battery platform investments if long-term support seems uncertain. And be skeptical of aggressive clearance sales on struggling brands. Deep discounts aren't always great deals if support disappears relatively quickly. The tool industry is consolidating steadily. In coming years, we'll likely have fewer dominant brands and more legacy names that exist mainly as cautionary examples. Choose thoughtfully, because the tools you buy today need to function reliably for years, regardless of industry changes that are already underway.